you've talked about Siamese cats and regular tabbies. Can we talk about your ragdoll, Mr. Pickles?
So, I've seen people online saying ragdolls aren't the brightest, and to be fair, I've never tested Mr. Pickles' IQ. When he first arrived, his head was tiny, his belly was huge. He looked a mess, and after eating, he lied down flat on his back like a human. It was unsettling. But that's not all. He's also incredibly petty. Every creature that's ever crossed him ends up on his personal blacklist. And topping that list, my other cat, a jet black troublemaker named Nacho. How did I figure this out? It all started when I adopted a new Siamese named Pippa. She's got way too much energy and has annoyed literally every living thing in the house. Then one day, I caught Pippa and Mr. Pickles playing together, and suddenly it hit me. I don't think I've ever seen Pickles and Nacho play together. Not once. They've lived under the same roof for years, and have basically been in a Cold War the whole time. That piqued my interest, so I started observing them closely. Turns out, Mr. Pickles still remembers how Nacho used to smack him around when he was a kitten. When I sleep, if Nacho's on the foot of the bed, Pickles sleeps at the head. If Nacho's on the left side, Pickles goes right. Sometimes he'll even go out of his way to avoid making eye contact. If Nacho looks at him, he turns his head dramatically in the opposite direction. Besides the passive-aggressive standoff, they also engage in weird little power struggles in strange places. Like every time I go to the bathroom, all three cats gather by the door like it's the most important moment of their lives. Eventually I got used to it. After washing my hands, I'd pat their heads, not for affection mind you, but to dry my hands on their fur. That head patting gig? It used to be Nacho's turf. But one day, Mr. Pickles started competing for it. Nacho would run over and paw at my leg like, "Pick me." Meanwhile, Pickles would dramatically flop over in the corner, belly up, full-on customer service battle mode. Eventually, they started fighting for the spot behind the bathroom door, the first place I'd walk past. And because the door is a frosted glass type, from inside, I could see two cat-shaped shadows literally doing puppet theater at the door. Now, don't get me wrong, Mr. Pickles has his tactics, but when it comes to raw strength, he's no match for Nacho, who's basically a street-hardened beast. There was a stretch when I noticed that at night, the two of them were never in the bedroom at the same time. Turns out they were taking turns sleeping on the couch, clearly the result of nighttime skirmishes. And I used to think I had to analyze fur colors on the floor to figure out who won. Turns out, I didn't have to bother, because whoever lost the fight just wouldn't show up in the bedroom the next night. I'm convinced they drew up some kind of treaty after each fight, like, you get the living room this week, I'll take the bed. And since Mr. Pickles kept losing, he spent a solid month exiled to the sofa, shedding so much fur, I basically needed a hazmat suit to sit down. Oh, and the boy can eat. But his digestion? Tragic. He's got a sensitive stomach and randomly turns into a diarrhea sprinkler. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Every day after making them food, I spend my downtime doing a full body check on Pickles. I'll pet him head to toe. Sometimes I sniff him just to make sure there's no poop situation. Because if you don't stay on top of it, he'll clean himself with his mouth and then come give you morning kisses with that same cleaning mouth. No, thank you. So I swapped out his food for high-protein freeze-dried meals. I mix it with his kibble for a week at a time, and his poops have been way more reliable. Now, I don't know if it's because he wasn't socialized properly as a kitten, but Pickles is ridiculously skittish. Whenever guests come over to my studio, he dives under the bed like he's escaping a house fire. Back when Nacho used to bully him, he'd always run under there. Pickles was small. Nacho was too chunky to reach him. So now, anytime he senses danger, under the bed he goes. Especially when I'm holding medication. As soon as he sees a pill bottle, he zips from the living room to the deepest part under the bed in 2 seconds flat. Like a rabbit. On Red Bull. But time's a cruel beast. These days, he's fatter than Nacho. And that same escape route. No longer safe. One time, a friend came over, the same friend involved in the infamous T-hair incident, and the moment Pickles heard her voice, he bolted. But his belly got stuck mid-dive. I watched him frantically pedal his legs while wedged in place. Eventually, the pressure forced some kibble out of his gut. Only then did he slide under. Now look, I've roasted Mr. Pickles a lot, but he's got one undeniable strength, long arms. To prevent picky eating, I feed all 3 cats together from a shared container. That way, they have to compete and finish everything. Which led to a mystery. I'd put the food bowl down in one room, and later find the empty can in the hallway. Or the bathroom. I was baffled. There were no sounds of it being dragged. Turns out it was Pickles. In food battles, Nacho and Pippa both use brute force, head-butting their way into position. Nacho's got a head like a hammer, and Pippa has zero pain tolerance. Pickles doesn't stand a chance in a straight-up fight. So he developed his own signature move, the Paw Snatch. As soon as the can goes down, he reaches out with his absurdly long arm and drags the can toward his face. Eats a few bites, gets shoved aside, waits, then repeat. I once put the can in the living room, and he managed to drag it all the way to the bathroom. Don't ask me how I found out. I stepped on it in the middle of the night and nearly twisted my ankle.
Nope.
And he doesn't stop. While the others take a few bites and move on, Mr. Pickles will sit there and chow down for what feels like half a day.
2,000 years later. Inches later. A few moments later. 12 seconds later.